This is the market update you need right now when good news means bad news and why it matters to you. And also why it might matter to you when a billionaire speaks. Even one that is really highly controversial. That and a whole bunch more coming up on the other side. Stick with me, folks. I got a lot to tell you, a lot on my mind, and I can't wait to share it all. Hey, what's up everybody? I am Rob Howe, Las Vegas Realtor. That means I'm a realtor in the entire Las Vegas Valley. So if you're looking for a realtor, whether it's in Henderson, Las Vegas, Summerlin, my favorite place, Summerlin South, Southern Highlands, so on and so forth, you get the point. I am your realtor when you need me. And right now, I think what you're here for is what you need to know about what's happening next in the real estate market. I'm gonna start it out today with the Fed meeting that's coming up on the 13th and 14th. This is pivotal because interest rates are going to be what they're speaking about mostly. They're also going to be speaking maybe about what's happening next with concerns to interest rates and where they're going. But my feeling is right now that unfortunately, the good news means bad news. There was good news on the job market. There were more job openings than were projected by many of the experts, and also wages grew by 0.6%. And listen, it sounds so bananas to me because it's just kind of a bummer that it seems like those who are hardworking Americans are the ones that are being basically targeted right now.
We don't want to have these excess jobs. We don't want to have wage growth.
That's the Fed speaking when I say we. And so that's part of why they are doing the interest rate movements. It's why they're making things more difficult. And unfortunately, it affects those people the most. So when you look ahead on the 13th and 14th, I have spoken about this in my Robnostication, so you can go back and watch my November to December Robnostication. I should have another Robnostication coming, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat. We'll be seeing a 0.50, 0.5% increase in the interest rates. The good news on the job market means that the Fed is not getting what they want just yet. And I'm going to talk a bunch about this because there are billionaires, one in particular that has been very controversial lately, Elon Musk, that has said that he doesn't like these interest rates and that the Fed, it needs to start dropping them immediately. You know, you're thinking,
oh, of course the billionaire doesn't like that.
Because it costs them more money to borrow money and it hurts them. But I'm telling you now, you got to know that it's not really hurting the most wealthy people, especially not the most wealthy person on the planet. But Elon Musk really dislikes these interest rate hikes. That said, we're going to see another 0.50 increase. We will see. And the question is, will they continue those? With this Fed meeting, we might get some more information about that. Unfortunately, it looks like they're not quite ready to get dovish yet. And if you watched my last Robnostication, I had a hopeful tone to it, which is still possible. This has been a bit of a yo-yo as far as what we're seeing coming out as news on the economy. So again, good news is equaling bad news from the Fed's perspective. Elon Musk thinks recession is coming and worries the Federal Reserve's attempts to bring down inflation could make it worse. There'll be a link below, okay? So you can have this article. In a tweet earlier Wednesday, what do you know in a tweet? The CEO Twitter owner called on the Fed to cut interest rates immediately or risk amplifying the possibility of a severe recession. And someone named Sven Heinrich is agreeing with him, saying the Fed stayed too easy for too long, totally misreading inflation, and now they've tightened aggressively into the highest debt construct ever without accounting for the lag effects of these rate hikes, risking they'll be again late to realize the damage done. Now, what's he talking about? He's talking about what's called lag. That there is a lag in these moves that have been made by the Fed, and that it takes time for the true expression of those effects to take place. So this is something I've been saying I do agree with. I don't want to keep harping on it, but it's like, this is kind of why we're here. They did not read the inflation like a lot of people thought they should have. So now here we are. So now Elon's saying we should get those rates down, because what's ahead is the effect of these rates being high, and it's not good, especially if they keep ramping it up. Now, the good news is, I think, if I'm going to put a positive spin on things, we're only getting a 0.5% increase and possibly a 0.25% increase after that. Now, we'll see if they stick to that, but that's been kind of the word on the street there. That being said, what billionaires say, I can understand you taking with a grain of salt, especially one that's been as controversial as Elon, even though I do believe that there's a reason why the guy's done so well in his life, so that's why I'm bringing it up. And it's another thing that I think is interesting, because he's willing to say things that haven't really been said as much by such high-profile billionaires. I kind of looked around and I saw some other people have said some things along the way, some other really wealthy billionaire guys, but not as famous as him by any stretch. So him coming out on a limb, if you will, and saying it is newsworthy. And finally, this is really, really important for anybody that's thinking about selling right now. To sell, you must have a plan. And that plan is going to be in cooperation with a great agent. There's no doubt that you need the right information and that it can affect you greatly right now, especially because of the fact that you can make a profit on your home if you didn't buy it within the last year or so. The market hasn't gone down so much, and you haven't lost so much equity that you can't profit from selling your home. So if you're somebody that has to sell, and there are those that have to sell. Now, I know I was talking about people in the highs. I was calling them make me move listers. In other words, they would list their property at a high price. If you give me this price, I will move for you. Okay? In other words, so they were like, yeah, if I get this ridiculous price, and many of them were getting it at the height of the market, it would make them move. Now you have I gotta move listers. For whatever reason, they have to sell. Now, those people right now need to have a plan, and I'm speaking to you if you're in that position. There are a few different ways to do things to get this done. It's going to mostly come down to your price and what you're offering. Look at what the builders have been doing to sell their properties. But one thing that I found really interesting was the $1 listing. All right, it actually made the news. I had a client bring it up to me and say, hey, what's up with this property? It turned out it had multiple offers on it. Duh, it's $1. And the property was, I think, originally listed around $400,000. Probably listed too high. The seller finally said, you know what can I do to just sell this property without having to sell it to one of these iBuyers that's going to offer me way under my price? And they came up with a rather ingenious plan, even though it's simple as can be, to just sell the property for $1. Not really sell it for $1, but list it for $1. Okay, and then you just take the offers that you're getting. Now, obviously, smart buyers and smart agents of those buyers will go and look up the comparable sales and figure out a price that makes sense for them, and probably feel like they're getting a deal. Whoever bought it feels like they're getting a deal ultimately in the end, and the seller is actually still getting a market value because they are testing that wholly by getting multiple offers. Sure, some of them are going to come in ridiculous. Sure, some of them are going to come in way, way low, but they will get an offer that is going to be much closer to the market value, or the top dollar, if you will, that you can get right now. So it's not the worst idea in the world. Plus, you don't have to sell just because somebody gives you an offer, okay? So you're always like in control. That's what's important. You got to be in control as the seller, of course, and you're always in control of saying yes or no to an offer. So just keep that in mind. You're going to want to make sure you have a plan, and if your plan is to list it for $1 and see what happens, well, I'd sure like to have some fun and do that with you. And certainly if you want to have the most up-to-date information about your property, and you want to know exactly how it's going to be marketed, the whole plan involved, and the work that's going to go into selling your home, then you need a great agent, and I'm here for you if you need me. My name is Rob Howe. I'm a Las Vegas realtor. I'm so happy you watched all this video. I really will be happy if you subscribe to my channel. So please do. I've got a whole bunch more. I'm really excited to talk more about what's coming next, and certainly about what I got right and wrong in my Robnostications. I think I got most of it right, but we're gonna find out, right? That'll probably be my next episode. Robnostication coming next week, so keep an eye out for that. Again, I appreciate you watching. Everybody have a great day. And now you know how when you need an agent in Las Vegas, Nevada. Boom!